The early stages of the J1 League season has thrown up a number of surprise packages, including amongst them Cerezo Osaka, a club that has never won the Japanese title in its current format, and one whose last domestic top-tier championship success was back in 1980 when they played under a different name. But might this be the year that Sakura continue to shock and perhaps go on to clinch the domestic crown? Welcome along to Yodoko Sakura Stadium in Nagai Park. Cerezo Osaka face Yokohama F Marinos this afternoon. A significant test and serious step up for today's hosts as they aim to continue their good start to the campaign. 9 games into the 2024 season, they start the weekend just 1 point and 1 place off top spot, held by Machida Zelvia, and depending on the current league leader's result, could end match week 10 at the summits of the standings. Cerezo Osaka do come into today's game on the back of their first defeat of the season, however, a 2-1 reverse away at Nagoya Grampus, and take on the side that have just progressed to the final of the Asian Champions League. So this will not be easy as they test their bounce-back ability. Yokohama F Marinos have had to juggle continental and domestic fixtures since the start of the calendar year, but having come through a grueling 2-legged semi-final versus Korean club Ulsan Hyundai in midweek, this might be the best time for Cerezo Osaka to face them. Harry Kuehl's team overcame Ulsan only after a penalty shootout, and that following a 3-2 second leg success and 3-3 aggregate scoreline in which they played 75 minutes with just 10 players due to the first half sending off of Takumi Kamajima. Well, ahead of kickoff, Leo Sierra is honoured. The Brazilian recently made his 100th J1 League appearance, the majority, incidentally, for the team that he faces today, a former Marinos striker, of course, now firing in the goals for Sakura. He's been in very good form this year. Marinos have more than kept their heads above water in the J-League whilst making the Asian Champions League final. Their domestic form has been good, and a win today would see them climb to just a point behind the team they face this afternoon. And with the first leg of the final of the Asian Champions League at home to LA not for another 3.5 weeks, today's visitors will be aiming to kick on and keep tabs with the teams that have led the way for the first quarter of the J1 League season. And for all Marinos' impressive recent campaigns, with 2 title successes and 2 runners-up positions in the last 5 seasons, they have struggled when facing Cerezo Osaka, especially away from home. Today's home team won the corresponding fixture last season 2-1 and are unbeaten in 12 fixtures in all competitions on their own patch against the team from Yokohama. We're at Yodoko Sakura Stadium in Nagai Park this afternoon for Cerezo Osaka versus Yokohama F Marinos, 2 teams that have started the season really well and 2 teams that have lofty ambitions for 2024. Let's check out the teams for you. Cerezo Osaka make just the 1 change to the side. They lost 2-1 away at Nagoya last weekend, their first defeat of the season. Veteran midfielder Shinji Kagawa is recalled, with Masaya Shibayama missing out. It is 4-3-3 for today's host, with Leo Sierra, who scored 21 top-flight goals in 58 appearances for Marinos as the central striker. Capixaba and Lucas Fernandez complete an all-Brazilian forward trio. Watch out for Nobarazato and Makuma, who like to get forward from left and right back respectively. Our referee is Hiroki Kasahara. It's his first game featuring either of today's teams this season. Cerezo Osaka haven't won a league match with the 35-year-old as the man in the middle since 2021. On VAR duty for us, Yoshiro Imamura. Let's hope the boys in the booth aren't called into action too often. Harry Kuehl talked ahead of the game about utilising his large squad, and true to his word, the Australian makes 4 alterations to the team that drew 2-2 versus Shonan Bellmare in their last J1 League fixture some 2 weeks ago, with Rico Yamane, Jose Elba and Jun Amano all returning, while Hijiri Kato starts a top-flight game for the first time in his career. It's also a first appearance of 2024 for the defender signed last summer from Vivara Nagasaki, who has suffered from a serious hamstring injury. Interesting to see how he gets on, and likewise how this man's side aims to bounce back after that defeat last time out. Akio Kogiku took over first team duties in 2021. Harry Kewell, of course, joined Marinos ahead of this season after a spell on the coaching staff at Celtic in Scotland. So get set. Cerezo Osaka versus Yokohama F Marinos, the host looking to bounce back from a first defeat of the season last time out. The visitors, of course, buoyed by reaching the Asian Champions League final in midweek, but that was a tough game against Ulsan. It went all the way to penalty kicks before Marinos progressed. First time that they have made the final in its current guise. They have had continental success previously. That'll be a fascinating final. But it comes up mid to late May, two-legged of course. They can concentrate on domestic matters here. Yodoko will be aiming to put one over his former club. 6 goals so far this season. He has been terrific. Did score in that defeat last time out and returned to the starting lineup for Shinji Kagawa, veteran midfielder who spent much of his career in Europe, of course. The 35-year-old is back in today. Underway, Cerezo Osaka versus Yokohama F Marinos. Akio Kogiku's side who have started the season really well, and maybe something of a surprise. They have been good over the course of the last 6-7 seasons in the top division since being promoted. Always finished in the top half bar one campaign. They were 9th last year. They finished 3rd on their return to J1. And this season are shaping up very nicely indeed. They've got a balanced attack. The 3 Brazilians have been really good so far this season. Capixaba, Leo Serra, and of course Lucas Fernandez, who was signed from Consadole Sapporo ahead of this season. They've combined well and they've caused problems for opposition defences over the course of this season. And from an attacking point of view, it'll be interesting to see just how ambitious they will be against Marinos, because according to the stats this season, both of these two sides like to have possession. They've been averaging over 50%. We know traditionally that Marinos are a side that like to keep the ball. The opening exchanges here would suggest that maybe it will be the visitors who will try and dominate, as they have done in recent outings, with Cerezo Osaka maybe playing a different type of game to what we've seen recently, but we shall see. There's William Pop, sent off against Kyoto Sanga earlier this campaign, and a loose pass after some good pressing presents Cerezo Osaka with an opportunity to get some players forward. Capixaba will play on the left-hand side with Leo Sierra through the centre, Fernandez on the right, but they do switch wings. Sierra with those 6 goals so far this season. Fernandez, you can see, operating on the right. Certainly a player that perhaps was underused last season for his former club. Not necessarily a player that's going to score a lot of goals, but has been creator in chief. That's a clever ball here, though, for the visitors to come forwards, and a ball that's whipped into that far post. Fine save from Kim. 4 alterations to the side for Marinos from their last league game against Shonan Baumaria. 2-2 draw. But a positive start here as Kamejima looks to come forward. Fired in towards Uenaka, just unable to control it. It was at him rather than to him. Here's the opportunity. Clever reverse ball just inside the penalty area. A cross-come shot that was saved by Kim Ji-hyun. John Amano back in the starting lineup, just a second start of the season. He's been loaned recently to Chongbok Motors, powerhouse of the Korean top division, of course. Also had a spell on loan at Ulsan, the side that Marinos knocked out of the Asian Champions League at the semi-final stage. A brief spell in European football with Lokeren in Belgium. Didn't quite work out. But interesting that he gets to go here. Just the second start of the season, mainly used as a substitute. best of records against Cerezo Osaka, but that can be levelled at an awful lot of the Marinos players. He's only been on the winning side once in 8 previous attempts. Did score against them in a 2-1 home reverse back in December of 2018. There'll be many of the Marinos squad aiming to improve. Fairly poor records against the hosts today. There have been some really good games between the two recently. Marinos did win the home game last season, but they have been shorn of success here for over a decade. Beaten here 2-1 last campaign. Flicked forward by Elbert. Cerezo Osaka just struggling a little to clear their lines. Marinos have had the bulk of the possession, 4 wins from their 8 games so far. They do have a game in hand on the vast majority in the J1 League. They didn't play last weekend as the Japanese Football Association allowed them to have a weekend off to prepare for the second leg against Ulsan Hyundai. More and more federations around the globe seem to be doing that. We've seen that in Europe, in France. That's certainly helped a number of their side. That's a poor clearance, and Leo Sierra might get a second go, and still going. Fine stop from William Popp. To a certain extent, it was straight at him. Well, 2 good opportunities, one for either side in the opening 5 minutes here. Here is Fernandez. Marinos will clear, but living dangerously at the minute. Okuno, Sierra again. Now it's with Capixaba. This is Lucas Fernandez, and still rides one challenge, gets a little lucky, and that's a strong challenge and a free kick, and taken quickly. Not the best decision. Game management was off just a little, and Jose Alba just turns and gives a glance to suggest what on earth was that. Never going to get to it. Minaku was over on the other side of the pitch. Chance though from Leo Sierra to grab his 7th of the campaign. Did score in the defeat against Nagoya last time out, but in really good form. Signed ahead of the 2023 campaign. Only scored 11 from 14 starts, 17 substitute appearances. He was an irregular starter in his last season at Marinos, even though he scored 11 goals. 21 in 58 is not a bad return. And then last season, in his first campaign for Cerezo Osaka, managed to net 12. He was much more a regular starter, involved in the 33 of the 34 games and started 31 of them. But 6 in 9 so far this season. And given his form, you might have expected him to hit the target. It was ferociously struck, but William Popp was in the way. But a good fast start from both sides potentially here. Marinos have had the possession. Cerezo Osaka, arguably the best chance. Capixaba and Lucas Fernandez standing over the free kick. Sierra waits. Taking short. Alvarezzato to curl to Maikuma. Well, it was well worked. Header back from the byline, just unable to find a Cerezo Osaka player. Maikuma again. Lucas Fernandez. Here is Maikuma. Loses possession. Namteki. Yamane. It is, Keito, be interesting to see how the left-back gets on. Serious hamstring issue that has prevented him from playing up until today this season. And even though he signed in the summer of last year, he didn't feature in a J1 League game. Sierra goes down. It was a bit of a dive, wasn't it? But was he caught? He obviously believes he was. It will be looked at. Yoshiro Imamura is on VAR duty. Let's take another look. How much did he embellish the dive here? Not sure about that at all. play continues. There was a bit of contact with the upper body. I'm not quite sure why the legs have to disappear from underneath him in such fashion. In towards Hijiri Kito. But Watanabe's ball wasn't the best. Throw in here for Cerezo Osaka. First defeat of the season against Nagoya Grampus. They won their previous 3 in all competitions, including a League Cup game against Grilla Morioka. Last success in the top flight was against Kawasaki Frontale, a 1-0 home win. Drew their first 2 games of the current campaign and then won 6 of the next 7 across all competitions. But they've been efficient rather than spectacular. Last 5 games they've only scored once, and all of their last 4 goals have not just come in the second half but in the 67th minute or later, so the final quarter of the game. Started a little brighter here, but 10 minutes in, no goals so far. Marinos turn to get forward and plenty in blue inside the penalty area. Cross is poor, the clearance is worse, it's a corner. Zanuma, former Cerezo Osaka player, part of their Emperor's Cup winning side back in 2017. Delivered in from the right-hand side, from the Japanese international as well, 34 years old now. Looks to plot his former club's downfall here. Yonaka, the number 14, has taken up a position far post. Likewise, Watanabe, swinger that's dealt with fairly comfortably by the home defence. Keto. Zanuma again to curl in and cleared away by Funaki. Doesn't quite bounce out for a corner or indeed a throw-in. Zanuma was doing the pressing. Comfortable take from Kim Jin-hyun. 26th time that Kim Ji-hyun is playing against Marinos. He's been on the winning side 13 the previous 25. This is Lucas Fernandez, skips away from one challenge, tries to play it inside the penalty area and does. It's towards Kapishaba, it's cleared away, won't be picked up on the left flank. Zanuma does well. Towards Yonaka. Funaki with the attempted header, goes over the top, but it bounces out for a visiting throw. Kim, who is playing his 499th league game for Cerezo Osaka with that long clearance. A former Korean international, hasn't played for the national side for some 6 years, was in the World Cup squad in 2018. Those 13 wins from 25 previous appearances against Marinos, 5 clean sheets as well on his CV against the side that he faces today. Here is the veteran stopper. He's got a terrific save percentage this season, had a really good start to the campaign, 79.4%. 4 clean sheets from the 9 matches he's played in. 7 last season. Didn't feature in all of the fixtures. Quite sure that Nobarazato was ready for the straight ball towards him. Sierra can only find touch. Last 2 games have been in the Champions League. They lost the first leg to Ulsan by 0-0 and then won the home fixture 3-2, but Kamajima sent off in the first half, and all the way to extra time and spot kicks. Wasn't the easiest of groups to get out of. Shandong Incheon and Kaya won 4 of their 6 games. It's a better ball in, but the header is awkward, and if anything, there was no communication inside the penalty area from the Marinos strikers. Really needed to be left for Keito. Yokohama F Marinos, who played Bangkok United in the round of 16. 2-2 away draw. They were 2 up in that fixture. Thai team battled back for 2-2. They won the home game after extra time 1-0, and Anderson Lopez penalty in the 122nd minute to make the quarterfinals against Shandong Taishan, the Chinese Super League side. They won 3-1 on aggregate, winning both home and away before the Ulsan Hyundai semi-final. 5-4 penalty shootout success. The first leg of the final on the 11th of May, the return away from home in the UAE on the 25th of next month. How much will that shape their season? Second last term, of course, behind Vissel Kobe. Some 7 points behind in the end. Scored the most goals, very entertaining last season. They conceded the most of the top 6, so something I'm sure that Harry Kewell will be looking to try and improve upon. They lose possession here. Awkward clearance, not the best clearance, but handball given against Kagawa. In fact, it was Nobedazata, wasn't it, coming up forward from left back. So no goals in the opening 15 minutes. A bit of loose play from both of the teams here. It's William Pop who sees his attempted ball to this near side just fly out of play. Funaki. Toriyumi. 59% possession for Marinos in the opening quarter of an hour. Seasonal average this season is 59, so they're on brand. 52%, so that's Osaka's seasonal average so far, so they've had to just alter their style a little for the opening exchanges. Yamani's ball forward, Junaka unable to take advantage, but manages to win it back. Jose Albert, big opportunity taken. Nodded down brilliantly. Mizanuma against his former club, his second of the season. Some poor defensive play, and Cerezo Osaka have been punished here by Yokohama F Marinos. Sierra's attempted chest down was the genesis of the mistakes, really, wasn't it? And the move that eventually led to the goal was Elbes' curl to the far post. Mizanuma, the veteran midfielder as he is these days, used to be a central striker, can nod home from close range. Clever header, well directed. Credit Unaka to help win it back. Jose Albert with the spinning ball to the far post, and the glancing header comfortably beats Kim. Kota Mizanuma strikes first for Marinos. Well, they've had more of the ball. First clear-cut opportunity, you would say, although they have had chances previously. But you get the feeling that it's not going to be the end of the goals this afternoon. Here he is again, the goal scorer, 2-8 inside the penalty area. Amano. Nodded back for Yamane. Outside of the boot towards Yonaka. Watanabe. Something of a reset maybe here for Cerezo Osaka. Jose Albert controls perfectly, finds Keito. Hijiri Keito goes on the outside. It's not the worst ball in, and again it's a poor clearance here. This is Nam towards the far post, just flicked away from Mizanuma. And nodded back in, but that just bounces straight out of play. Good pressure once again from Marinos. Henry Kuehl has rotated well. Used an awful lot of players so far this season because of the heavy schedule. This is their 15th game in all competitions. Won 8 of the previous 14, 3 draws, 3 defeats. They've scored now in 12 of the 15. The 4 clean sheets, so similarities between this season and last. Kapishaba looking for an immediate response here. Clearance from Kamajima is out for a corner. Two goals from corners so far this season for Cerezo Osaka. That's something that they've improved upon from last campaign. Only 1 from a corner the entire season in 2023. Joint fewest in the J1 League. They've got 2 already this season. Sierra has popped up with a couple of headed goals this campaign, 6 last campaign. So very dangerous from situations like this. An in-swinger looks to be the order of the day. Sierra towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Nearly gets there ahead of William Pop. Elbert has the ball caught underneath his feet, but reacts quickly enough as Marinos look to clear and counter. Yanaka through the centre. Ball over the top that's nodded away by Funaki. Elbert. Keto. Elbert again. Keto wanted it edge of the penalty area. Fed back towards Yamane. Still just probe away. There's the Numa over on the right-hand side. Shot was closed down quickly. Hijiri Keito looking to take it on. He's got involved, hasn't he, in his first top division start, Hijiri Keito. All his career for former club Viva Nagasaki was in the 2nd tier. 61 appearances, just the 3 goals, but he's fitted in pretty well on his first league start for Marinos. First appearance in any competition this season. Hamstring issue that's kept him out. 2 players that have gone down. It looked a bit awkward, that. Now Sierra feeling the top of his foot. It's the side of the boot that was caught for Riku Yamane. Back into the starting lineup. Yamane, Sierra has started all bar 1 so far this season. Yamane is just 20, part of the Japanese under-20 World Cup squad. In last year's competition, they knocked out the group stages disappointingly for Japan. That competition held in Argentina, 3rd behind Colombia and Israel. Keto. Watanabe for Kamajima. Now Rei Keito over on the right-hand side. Yamane. Clever again to the right-hand side, whipped towards Yanaka. Chances taken by Makuma. And a corner here for Marinos. Taken short, Jose Elbert unable to get there. Lucas Fernandez just wants to shepherd it out of play, which he does. Creator-in-chief last season, Jose Elbert, with 11 assists. Just the 1 so far this campaign. weighed in with a crucial goal against Bangkok United in the Asian Champions League back in February. Hasn't scored so far domestically this season, Jose Albert. Did score in the 2-0 home win against Cerezo Osaka last season. Just beyond the first quarter of this fixture, Marinos lead, courtesy of that man's goal. Cerezo Osaka aiming to avoid going back-to-back in terms of defeats. It'd be a real blow to starting the season so promisingly. A real belief that maybe they can make a significant and serious run at the title. What is the issue here? Have we lost the ball? Is there some sort of issue in the stands amongst the supporters? That potentially is why we've stopped. You can see some medical staff there rushing into the first few rows. Well, if it is a supporter that unfortunately has been taken ill, let's hope they're okay. And we are presuming that it is some sort of medical emergency, and some of the coaching staff from Cerezo Osaka have been urged across to help deal with it. Can't quite say exactly what's going on, but hopefully the supporter behind the goal away to our left is okay, and any treatment that is required won't be too serious. And let's hope that fan is okay, as you can see the medical staff around them. Well, obviously an opportunity for the coaches to speak to the players, not in the way that they would have wanted, obviously, but just tactics being discussed here. Goal scorer Takumi Kawajima just speaking to the goal scorer Kota Muzanuma. This is the goal again we're just taking a look at. Wonderful ball in, perfectly flighted by Jose Albert. And a clever finish. So his second of the season means that Marinos lead by 1-0. They have had the bulk of the possession. They've had more attempts as well, and the home side haven't really been able to play their usual game. We mentioned the fact that they usually have more of the ball than their opponents. That's been the case this campaign. But they've not really been able to play on the front foot. They've not had too many chances inside the Marinos penalty area. Unfortunately, a stretcher required here for that supporter who's become ill whilst watching the game, but being stretchered away now. But there is a little bit of movement we can see there, so hopefully that fan is okay. Good spot from the players, obviously maybe alerted by the front row of supporters that there was an issue, and Kim Ji-hyun, the home keeper, was quick to alert the medical staff of Cerezo Osaka to try and help, with the stadium medical staff as well. So an unfortunate delay, but just judging by the movement on the stretcher, let's hope that the fan is okay. The play will resume shortly. Just hear there of the translator that Harry Kuhl's been told that there's going to be 4 minutes added on because of that particular break. That was in addition to any other minutes that were going to be added on as well. So you can guarantee at least 4 minutes at the end of this first half, maybe even more. Well, I presume we've had a restart, of course, for a goal. And it will be Cerezo Osaka to restart. kick bounces all the way through. William Pop for Marinos will collect. In their last J1 League encounter against Shonan Bellmare at home back on the 13th of April, in their previous top flight game against Cerezo Osaka's city rivals Gamba Osaka. Breakaway here, Capixaba. Leo Sierra calling for it, so is Lucas Fernandez. Cleared away only to the edge of the penalty area. Fine shot, but wide of the target. Got hold of that one, did Shiji Kagawa. Scored against Tokyo Verdy in the 2-1 home success earlier this season, did the veteran midfielder. 2 last season, back in February of last year. 13 years in Europe, of course, a real star at Borussia Dortmund, a title winner in Germany, a German Cup winner as well, before moving to Manchester United in the English Premier League. Title winner with United before moving on to play for Besiktas and Zaragoza. It's a clever ball towards Runaka, who can take it down and score! Flag is up. That looked close. They'll be checked. I wonder who got the final touch on it as well. It's onside there, no issue there, issue there. Just makes the move a split second too soon. Retained his place from the last league game, but has been in and out this season. Scored against Gamba Osaka in the 2-0 home success. Got a couple against Ulsan in the 3-2 home win in the second leg of the Champions League semi. Only 2 starts last season, having signed from Vivara Nagasaki in the winter, December 22. Regular goal scorer for his former club, but of course in the second tier, so still really looking to make the grade in the top flight. The likes of Jose Anderson on the bench. He's got his work cut out. Anderson has got 5 this season. Just that bit of rotation has kept him on the bench. I'm sure we'll see him at some stage. Some good young strikers coming through, including the teenager Kento Shiogai, who scored against Shonan Bellmare on his full debut last time out. Yoshiera, Kagawa. Kuno will help it on. Sierra again. Funaki, Kim, Toriumi, and it's Kim again. Korean pumps it long. Capixaba the target, nodded down for Leo Sierra. Play continues here, but yeah, head injury here. It's going to have to stop. The Cerezo Osaka players aren't, well, they're frustrated, but they'd understand obviously here. Bit of a clash of heads. Capixaba won the aerial duel. Just a bit awkward. It was not necessarily head-to-head, was it? Just the shoulder of the Brazilian. Scored against FC Tokyo in the 2-2 home draw. Only goal so far this season. Player that was signed at the start of the last campaign from Juventude, the Brazilian side. 6 clubs in Brazil before coming to Japanese football. Did score on his Cerezo Osaka debut against Marinos, Capixaba. Should resume with possession for the home team, but not quite where they were previously. They had an opportunity to break forward on the left. That's why the Brazilian was a little frustrated, but Obviously, play had to be halted. Another minute or so maybe to add on at the end of a first half that's growing ever longer. Here is Lucas Fernandez. Kagawa. Funaki has to come out of defence, but is confident to do that. Awarazato to the left-hand side. Kapishaba, bring it Keito, still Kapishaba. Keito sticks to his task well, did get a touch on that. Did the right back, corner. So another chance from a flat kick here for Cerezo Osaka. To curl in and flicked on, but got too much on that one. Toriumi needed to take a little off it. 60th appearance for Cerezo Osaka for Koji Toriumi. He's only scored 1 goal in the league. That was against Vissel Kobe back in July of 21, going on for 3 years, an 89th minute equaliser. It was on his J-League debut. Has scored in the Emperor's Cup after that. Back come Marinos once again. Amano inside the penalty area. Good quick play inside the box here from the team in blue. Keito, Amano. Layoff is good as well as he flicked it inside the 6-yard box, but Manaka unable to get there as Kim comes and claims once again. Well, wanted to try and get something going quickly, but unable to do so. The home fans frustrated here. Here is Funaki. Cerezo Osaka build from the back once again. Pace of build-up has been a little slow. Too often it's gone sideways and backwards rather than forwards. Here comes the press from Marinos once more. Here is Maikuma. Kagawa. Side of the boot. Clever ball as well for Fernandez, who's popped up over on the left-hand side. Rides one challenge, still going forward. His own player might have blocked that. This is Kapishaba. Looks to curl one. Switched wings just for a second. This is Kagawa again. Well, Makuma wasn't ready for that. You tend to think he should have been. Kapishaba jumped over it, expecting the right back to pick it up, but he was caught a little flat-footed. Just the communication, the telepathy isn't there. Shown in flashes why they've started the season so well, but tend to think that Marinos have just got that quality and they've got the confidence at the moment as well. Forward by Watanabe. Yonaka will take it down first time and just about control. Oh, tries to find Keito. Just not quite under his spell, was it? This time he times his run a little better. First touch was okay, then it bounces off the knee, then the heel. He goes down as he tries to lay it back to the left back, Hijiri Keito. Presence of 2 Cerezo Osaka defenders. Just about enough. Keito with a throw. Kapishaba away. Jose Elbel was in an offside position, doesn't make any attempt to try and go for that. Just 4 clean sheets in their 14 games across all competitions for Marinos. That should maybe give Cerezo Osaka supporters the belief that their side can at least score in this fixture. Have scored in all 10 games this season. Only won in 6 of those 10, as we were referencing previously. Failed to score in their last 3 last season, and indeed 7 of their last 8 in 2023. So something's clicked up front this campaign. who looks on. Thank the supporters for their part in the midweek win over Ulsan Hyundai. Doing well so far. Replaced Kevin Muscat, of course, fellow Aussie, now coaching in China. Did really well with Marinos. There's always a lot expected. Yamane. Forward by Kamejima. Two on the right-hand side. Vanaki's in the way. Get another opportunity to centre. Elba was waiting for the header, just flicked away by Maikuma. This is Keito. Marinos buzzing around, trying to keep possession. They've done well. This is Elba. Kamejima. Nizanuma. Amane. Bannett as well, just to keep possession here. Renketo. Yamane. Amano. Zanuma on the right-hand side, retain possession fairly comfortably, just looking for a gap to try and thread the ball in. Fanaki with the defensive header. Lucas Fernandez lets it bounce. Shows strength and determination here to retain possession. And they can't find a teammate. It's easy to thread it through. There were 3 players waiting. This is Teika Watanabe, who's just been off to get a bit of treatment. Defender back on. Marinos winning back. Watanabe. Well, dominating possession at the moment. Kamejima forward. The referee intervenes. Lucas Fernandez not happy about something. He feels he's been fouled one time too many. This was the run that eventually led to the foul. I think he's suggesting there was a couple of challenges there before he actually went down, and maybe it should have been called a little earlier. And on the stopwatch, we've got 3 minutes left of this first half, but we know that it's going to be at least another 4 added on, and potentially 5, 6, or even more. Maikuma. And again, space on the left-hand side, but Lucas Fernandez, who was calling for it, doesn't get it. Another stoppage. This time, John Amano down. Poor end to the season for Cerezo Osaka last campaign. They lost 6 of their last 8, including the last 3. Actually finished 9th, just slipped down the table after being in the mix at one stage for Champions League qualification. Usually all or nothing. 15 wins, 15 defeats, joint fewest draws, along with Kyoto Sanga, just 4. They're 4th in September. As we mentioned, they struggled towards the back end of the campaign. Their form deserted them. Back come Marinos again. It's another clever ball in. Amano then slips, not for the first time. Changes studs at the break, maybe. Kamejima. Watanabe. This is Pop. Knocked out of the League Cup in the group stages, Cerezo Osaka. We're knocked out the 4th round of the Emperor's Cup, competition that they have won fairly recently. by Shonan Bellmare on penalties. Kabishaba, Kagawa, Lucas Fernandez inside the penalty area. Maikuma, the right back, getting forwards here to curl inside the box. Cleared away for Yanaka, picked up by Jose Albert. Yanaka wants it again. Mizanuma. Yanaka inside the penalty area, cleared towards the striker. Good header. They break with a bit of purpose, and here's an opportunity at the other end. Oh, that must be a penalty. Well, the challenge was ill-advised and late. Leo Sierra goes down. Shake of the head from Harry Kuehl. William Popp, who was slow to make his mind up, started to backtrack, then came out as he tried to make the challenge and then pull out. He completely takes out Leo Sierra. Well, Anderson Lopez has been on penalty-taking duty this season. He's not on the pitch. William Popp, who gets a yellow, he was making a challenge of sorts, so he doesn't get the red. First penalty that he's facing this season. If Harry Kuehl was trying to take the ball around William Popp and he went down like that, he would not be shaking his head. He'd be wanting the penalty himself, I guarantee you that, good player as he was. He's faced 2 penalties so far this season, William Popp, and hasn't faced one in terms of penalties taken for Cerezo Osaka. Leo Sierra is 2 from 2. And of course the Marinos striker who's not on, so it's Leo's opportunity to make it 3 from 3 for the hosts, and crucially get them back on terms. Leo Sierra for his 7th of the season to make it 1-1 against William Popp, the Marinos keeper. In added on time at the end of the first half. Oh, and he's missed! Popp goes the wrong way, but it doesn't matter. Skimmed the post, but the wrong side of it for Cerezo Osaka, who missed a massive opportunity right at the end of the first half. Certain to fly into the left corner as we watched. Big let-off for Marinos. Kabishaba. Sierra will be aiming to make amends, and he might be able to here. It's cleared away by Kamejima. Fanaki. Maikuma. Kagawa. Maikuma again. Lucas Fernandez's ball. Great support behind the goal away to our right. They would have enjoyed that. 6 minutes of added on time. We've had 3 of the 6, and Cerezo Osaka have got a corner. Lucas Fernandez play inside the box, and William Popp with a comfortable claim. Did the ball curl out before it came back in potentially here? The whistle sounded. Kapishaba is down. This doesn't look good for the Brazilian. A shake of the head. The shirt over the face signifies that this is something serious. So this burst to the byline. Well, it will be a change for Gyo Gogiku. Could play on with 10 to collect his thoughts at the break before making the change. We'll see if he introduces someone else straight away. We'll add to the extra minutes at the end of this first 45. May well wait. Depends what sort of move he wants to make. Like-for-like replacement, and maybe change up the formation a little. To the first half in more ways than one for Cerezo Osaka, spurning the opportunity to grab an equaliser from the spot as Leo Sierra's penalty flashed wide. And then Kapishaba collecting an injury that sees him depart. No replacement made just yet. 4-4-1. The current formation. They may well play that out, as we mentioned. We'll see. Surely it doesn't need to get any worse for them. But Marinos have got players in good areas here. Yonaka inside the box. Jose Alba just wanders outside of it. But a man to the good. Questions will be asked if Marinos do manage to score here. Watanabe. Keto. So that's Osaka ball. Here comes the change. Kapishaba, the players got off. And Satoki Uejo is coming on. Mainly used as a substitute this season, only one start. Uejo is on. Funaki. Toriumi. Maikuma. Breakaway here as the ball is played towards Leo Sierra, flicked away by Kito. Lucas Fernandez. Fonaki. Kim. Well, approaching 8 minutes. I've added on time. It feels about right because of the injury. And of course that spot kick miss as well. Oh, here's another opportunity though here. Leo Sierra this time finds the corner. Some slack play at the back from Marinos once more. This time Cerezo Osaka take advantage. Penalty miss is forgotten as Leo Sierra pounces, definitely onside. Kamajima playing him on. Clever ball, flicked in field by Shunta Tanaka, who will claim the assist. One touch to control, the second to steer into the corner for Cerezo Osaka's main man and top scorer this season. He atones for the error from 12 yards by placing cleverly into into the corner to make that half-time team talk a little easier for Akio Kokiku. So Leo Sierra, right at the end of the half, misses a penalty and then levels things up after Kota Mizunuma scored with a glancing header to put Marinos in front. Pop was the perpetrator who gave the penalty away. Kim was busy, but in the end, we're all square after 45. And a really interesting second half still to come. Plenty in the balance here between these two sides. So that's Osaka will feel that they can kick on and maybe take advantage of a Marinos side that could be fatigued after that Champions League semi in midweek. Half-time here then, it's Cerezo Osaka 1, Yokohama F Marinos 1. Welcome back. The second half of this J1 League encounter between Cerezo Osaka and Yokohama F Marinos about to get underway. Sierra's late leveler in the first half after missing a penalty has given the hosts a little hope that they can return to winning ways after their defeat at the hands of Nagoya Grampus last time out. Kota Mizunuma scored the first of the game, of course. This season, Marinos have a 1-3 drawn 1 lost 1 record when scoring first in J1 League encounters. Were beaten by Nagoya away from home 2-1, scoring the opening, the first time, only time this season that they've been beaten when taking the lead. The second time that Cerezo Osaka have conceded the first goal in a fixture this season in the J1 League, and they were beaten. Last come from behind success was against Gamba Osaka in the derby back in July of 22. Didn't win a game last season when conceding the first in the top flight. Can they do it here against Marinos? Underway then for the second half. Cerezo Osaka 1, Yokohama F Marinos 1 after 45 minutes then here at Yodoko Sakura Stadium in Nagai Park. Really good atmosphere, terrific fan base, and plenty from Yokohama have made the journey as well. The away following and the J-League always significant. Marinos fans have had a good week so far. Can it continue here? Kato with a really good ball in. Nobarazato with the definitive touch behind. Jose Elbert with the cushion ball towards the left back, whips it in, and it nearly fell to this near side, and Mizunuma to score his second. He's been impressive on his top flight debut, Hijiri Kato. So a corner to start this second half for Marinos in front of the visiting support. Killed towards the back post, but comfortably claimed by Kim. Times last season they conceded the first goal of the game. Cerezo Osaka kept in play by Lucas Fernandez. Was he fouled? No, says the referee. Of those 14 games they lost 12, drew 2. Worst record in the top flight. Confirmation of the teams running through at the bottom of your screen. Satoki Ojo coming on for Kapishaba in the first half because of injury to the Brazilian. Will operate over on the left-hand side for Cerezo Osaka. Mizunuma, again, it's a dangerous ball in. It's come back out to the goal scorer. Keto. There is Rin Keto, right back. Hijiri Kato, left back, of course, today. Kamijima for Watanabe. Confirmation of the Marinos team as well. Much change from the Shonan Belmare draw. 4 changes all told. Yukio talked about using his squad. It's a big one as well. Number of players that have featured in the majority of games so far this season, not even in the squad for this one. Eventually the free kick awarded. Nobarazato forward. Yuejo. Nobarazato again. Vanaki for Toriumi as the 2 centre-backs trade passes. Yuejo just unable to kill that. They've been good going long so far in this fixture. They won a penalty, of course, with a huge clearance from Kim in the first half. They failed to convert as Leo Sierra was brought down by William Pop. Most of their attacking metrics have been upped from last season's numbers so far this campaign. Their shots per 90, 10.5, as opposed to 9.5 last season. Shot target percentage is down just a little bit, however. But generally, improved numbers have meant for a very positive start to the campaign, as the league position would suggest. It's Lucas Fernandez flying in on Watanabe. Yonaka will get there first, two inside the penalty area. Striker just has to hold up play. This is Jose Albert. Pulled in towards Amano, who gets his head to it. Would have been best placed leaving that for Mizunuma. Marinos win it back. Free kick. Heavy on Yamane. Not really playing the ball. Forceful, awkward challenge that flattens the Marinos player. Jose Albert. Yamane again recovered after being knocked over. This is Kamajima. Sent off against Ulsan, given away. Uejo. Tanaka. Nobrazato. Tanaka again. Flighted towards Maikuma. Nodded away by Keito. Amtehi. Jerry Keito in field. Takumi Kamajima. Renkeito right-hand side. Really see him get forward too often in the first half. Jerry Keito on the left flank was a bit more prominent. Yamane. Renkeito. Mizunuma. Misunderstanding. Misjudged the bounce, Leo Sierra, but he still might work out for him. Two Marinos players to try and deal with. Uejo. Nobrazato. Uejo again. Kuno calling for it back. This is Nobrazato, though. Leo Sierra. Just like to drop deep and get involved in the build-up play. Uejo. Shimmy in a shuffle to the byline, just get the cross in, but it takes a bit of a deflection, still not completely cleared. Kagawa's touch. Nobrazato, Kagawa once more. Uejo got two to aim at inside the penalty area. Only El Sierra is there now. Maikuma will feed it back. This is Kagawa again. Lucas Fernandez over on the right-hand side. Just a bit of pressure building here. Good momentum from Cerezo Osaka. And Lucas Fernandez in particular, who will thread it through for Leo Sierra, but just caught spinning away. Applauds the idea, the thumbs up, but quite the pass that he wanted. But good industry and skill and determination from the Brazilian winger, Lucas Fernandez here. See what he was trying to do, wasn't far off. Square at the moment. 4 draws in the last 20 for Marinos in J1 League. Toriumi. Bit awkward. Got a bit nervous the further forward he got. Gives it away. Jose Albert slips as he tries to connect and get the cross in. Keito puts the pressure on, but unable to win the ball from Kagawa. Ikuma. Toriumi. Lucas Fernandez. touch just enough to keep the Brazilian moving forward. Leo Sierra, and still takes the shot on! Oh, he's curling away, but it was hit with plenty of power. How close was it? This angle might tell us. That far away, this will be better. Metre or so. Spinning away from goal rather than towards it. Worth a hit. Home support looking to drive on. Cerezo Osaka. Marinos always going to be dangerous on the break. This is John Amano. There's the Numa. Made the ball, made the run from outside to him, but was ignored. This is Renketo. Unaka. Just dropping deep, the central striker. Just wonder whether Riku will make that change. Get Anderson Jose on. Isanuma keeps it in play, but gives it away. Uejo for Makuma. That's an easy one to give. It's not Barazato that goes down, in fact, and offers apologies. Not quite sure where the contact was. I thought it just pulled him back. Ooh, there was, wasn't it, on the Achilles? He knew straight away. That must have hurt. So changes are full, replacements required, cavalry called, Harry Kewell making the changes. Ready to make the changes just yet. Uejo. About onside. Oh, that's well worked. Uejo with space to pick the pass here. Watanabe with a header away. Yeah, Mateus is coming on. Likewise, Anderson Lopez, as you can see, and Sakakibara, and Tehi Amano, and Yonaka all coming off. So, what will the changes do for Marinos' fortunes here? I thought if we get to the hour or thereabouts, we'll make the alterations. All of the players that have come on did start the game in midweek. Anderson Lopez, first touch, nearly got ahead of his marker to nod in. That's good defensive work from Funaki, but a very different player he's got to deal with now. Anderson, who's got 5 goals so far this season from 8 appearances in Japanese top division. He's got 9 in all competitions in 2024, 12 this season. Curled in, flicked around, oh, got in, keeper got something, but not enough. Visiting support that will celebrate. Instant impact from the changes that Harry Kewell has made here. Ricocheted around before Saki Kubara forced home. Kim got his fingertips to it, I think, but not enough to keep it out. And it's Marinos the lead. Suspicion of handball initially there, but when it fell to Saki Kubara, he forced home, and it may well have been his first touch since coming on. The triple switch has worked a treat. Marinos lead by 2-1. Keigo Sakikibara with his first of the season. Young midfielder, he did score in the League Cup last season, but limited appearances in the J1 League. Harry Kewell has to be commended for the alterations that he's made. Well, we'll see once again if Cerezo Osaka can respond. Keito, Jose Albert. Interesting now that Yokohama F Marinos have got their own Brazilian triumvirate in attacking positions. Albert is obviously going to stay on that left-hand side, but Yamatase is going to play on the right. You can see the number 11 with Anderson through the centre. And suddenly, as an attacking force, different prospects, aren't they? Here's Leo Sierra looking to chase this one down. William Pop, who's on a yellow, comes and claims. Saki Kibara. Kamajima. And Mateus loses out. Anderson Lopez tries to win it back. It's going to be a big test for Harry Kewell early stages of the season. Obviously taking over midway through the Champions League campaign, having come through the group stages. He's done well, rotating his squad significantly. There are plenty of options and some good experience throughout the Marinos personnel. But he looks to have got the balance right. They're not too far off the pace domestically, depending what happens over the course of the weekend. 17 points might be enough for a top 5 spot. And a run of league fixtures before that Asian Champions League final should see them just keep in touch with the leaders. Defeat earlier today for Machida Zelvia. They went down 2-0 to Jubilo Iwata. Mean that if Cerezo Osaka can get back into this game and win it, as we see Kagawa coming forward. Weijo looking to get the shot in! William Pop throws himself towards that. Strong hand tips it over. Well struck from the substitute. Top spot could be theirs with a victory. Even a draw would see them rise to 19 points. Then it would depend on teams elsewhere. Kobe also beaten today, so an opportunity. San Fletcher, of course, play tomorrow. Corner taken short. Kagawa back for Lucas Fernandez. Flicked on. Leosiena's header. Well, it would have been a poacher's goal. First to react and able to divert on target. But they are still creating chances. And Akio Kogiko will be pleased with that. Spinning wide in the end, but an opportunity certainly. It's a little loose, but Sakigabara makes it work. This is Anderson to use his strength, loses out to Kagawa. Lucas Fernandez. Marinos who face Jubilee Iwata next, and then Urawa Reds, the team they're looking to take the Continental crown off. Oh, a yellow card here for Hijiri Keto. After that, Sanfrecce Hiroshima before the first leg of the Asian Champions League final at home. So some toughish fixtures, you would suggest, for the side that currently leads. Costolove Sapporo next for Cerezo Osaka, and then the Osaka derby away at Gamba on the 6th of May. Cerezo Osaka have a free kick as we approach the midpoint of this second half. Marinos lead 2-1. Dangerous looking ball in. What are they claiming here? Hands? Corner? Good dipping ball in this. Suspicion of offside. It's gone for a corner in the next phase, so it won't be pulled back now. Lucas Fernandez gets ready to take. Yosera waits inside the penalty area. Funaki and Toriumi are up from the back as well. You can see Funaki calling for the ball, the number 14, far post, whipped in low and cleared by Jose Albert. Kagawa. Nobrazato. Uejo will twist and turn and look to try and get away from Hijiri Keto. Finds himself on this right-hand side, the left back. Here is Jan Mateus. Quite the kick and rush that he was looking for, I think. Just spun off in an awkward angle for him. Kagawa. Lucas Fernandez. Keto is back defending on his proper flank, but we've got Makuma down at the moment, now back up. The referee was keen to stop play. Is he given a free kick? Off for the ball. Not where we were looking, but a free kick nonetheless. Toriumi moves away. Lucas Fernandez gets ready to take. Funaki inside the penalty area. Kagawa outside of the box. Yosera lurking as well. What can the Brazilian conjure here? Lucas Fernandez, good looking ball in. Sierra's header finds the corner. 2-2. The Brazilian strikes once more. Wonderful ball in, terrific delivery. Lucas Fernandez. Leo Sierra certainly looked onside from that position. And the downward header, firm and directed into the corner. William Pop maybe a little slow to get his footwork right here. Bounces one way, then the other. Not quick enough to get across or strong enough with his fingertips to push it away and out. Gets something on it, but it nestles into the corner and we're all square at 2-2. Goals 7 and 8 of the season struck by Leo Sierra this afternoon. Could have had a hat-trick, of course. Marinos' turn to try and come back towards Anderson Lopez. It bounces out for a goal kick. The free kick that led to the goal came after an off-the-ball collision. Scored more than one for the first time since a 2-0 home win over Shonan Bellmare back on the 30th of March. Has scored a hat-trick in J1 League football previously, Leo Sierra, but it was for the side that he's scoring against today. There's it, a treble for Yokohama F Marinos against Shimizu S-Pulse back in July 22, and a 5-3 away success for Marinos. Now looking to score a treble against them. Here he is, Leo Sierra. Kamijima left it to his teammate, then gets it back. Leo Sierra is still down. Referee might just want to hold play here before we restart. Awkward challenge. I think enough of the ball was got by the defender, but the follow-through seemed to take out Leo Sierra. He's got plenty of talent. Proving it today against his former employers. Tanaka. Fonaki. Initial burst from the substitutes of Marinos has ended. Here is Jan Mateus. He's not really been in the game since coming on, and he's given the ball away again. This is Kagawa. Lucas Fernandez far right. Leo Sierra inside the penalty area. Another good-looking ball in, and a clever header by Renketo out for another corner. Seven headed goals now this season for Cerezo Osaka. Well, he's 12 last season, 6 from Leo Sierra. He's now got 3 this season. And it's a key weapon for Cerezo Osaka, and they're using it well at the moment. They've got another opportunity to put William Pop's goal under pressure. In swinger again. A little better, but straight back out to Lucas Fernandez. Nobarazato. Kagawa to curl for Maikuma. Lucas Fernandez. Kagawa. Leo Sierra. It's on his right side. Looks to curl one. Didn't quite catch it. Some distance out. Comfortable for Pop. And that's a really good release to the left-hand side here as well. Zamora is going to play left after the introduction of Jan Mateus. Free kick. Well, 17 minutes remaining. Difficult to call a winner. It's presuming we get one. Could easily end as a draw, but you still sense there's more goals in it, don't you? We said that when the first one went in. It won't be a surprise to see one of these two nick it 3-2, or even by a wider scoreline. Jan Mateus towards Anderson. Just a little too high. Maikuma away. To be a bit of a tug of a shirt there. But play continues. Okuno, and then Uejo goes down. It's going to be a free kick, and Jan Mateus goes into the book. been a bit frustrated since coming on. Scored in the 2-0 home success last season against Cerezo Osaka. Mateus goes into the book. Goal against Vissel Kobe earlier this season. Also scored in the Champions League quarter-final against Shandong. Further changes, Vitor Bueno is coming on. It's like we're also going to see Kenta Inouye. Jose Elba is coming off. Contributed with the assist for the first Marinos goal. Maybe it's not Elba who's coming off. Harry Kuehl wants him to stay. Or is it just a slight change of... now then, this is the issue. Hijiri Keito is down at the moment. Well, he's got a bit of cramp. It's his first appearance of the year in any competition. He's not been a sub in any game either. Hasn't played since appearing in the group stages of the Champions League late last season. Kagawa and Akuno have gone off for Tameda and Bueno, incidentally. Those are the changes for the hosts. For the visitors, is Jose Elba going to come off? But because of the injury or cramping of Hijiri Keito, maybe it's a different switch. Anderson Lopez has come across to get a bit of instruction. Well, I hope it is just cramping, not something more serious, but judging by the way he's flat out on the turf here, and given the hamstring issues he's had, kept him out for the best part of 6 months. Kenta Inouye is coming on, but we're also going to see another change as well. Minato Yoshida is going to come on for Hijiri Keito. That's a real shame. It's not something serious, but he's been forced into a defensive switch as well as Harry Kuehl. Jose Elba was always going to come off by the looks of things, but the defensive switch, because of the injury to Hijiri Keito, was not planned. This doesn't look good for the young player. Just 22, injury hit since moving to Marinos from Vivar and Nagasaki. So Yoshida is on, and another 22-year-old, and it's another player who's making a first appearance of 2024. He hasn't played anywhere since appearing for Marinos in a J-League Cup fixture, a group game against Jubilee Owata. He was involved in a 1-0 away win back in April of 23, the 19th of April, so it's over a year since he played any competitive football. Just one J-League appearance on his CV. That was against Cerezo Osaka in the corresponding fixture last year. A game, of course, that Cerezo Osaka won by 2-1. We'll be hoping that he's not on the losing side again in his second J1 League appearance against the same side. Sakakibara. And again, Yoshida had made the run. Sakakibara, Yoshida's not in the right back position now, so there's a bit of covering to do here for the Marinos personnel. Watanabe forward. Suddenly the press is a little higher up for Cerezo Osaka. Yojo is chasing everything down. Can they play through it? Here is Minato Yoshida. Substitutes first touch, positive ones as he strides forward. Jan Mateus, Anderson calling for it. This is Yoshida. 3 inside the box. It's over here. It's a shame. They'd all made moves towards the centre of the goal or the near post. Oh, Lucas Fernandez with a clever touch forward. He will power on. And Marinos players need to get back quickly here. Free kick, not given, was given. Thought about it for a second. Might be a card here as well. There is Watanabe. A full start of the season for the former Albirex Niigata player. So 11 minutes remaining plus added on time. We've had some stoppages in the second half as well, and restarts, and of course substitutions. So get your added on time bingo cards ready. In 10-11 minutes we'll find out how many minutes we're going to get. It might be a significant number. Another free kick, similar position to the equaliser, from where the equaliser came from. Vitor Bueno. Did score in the League Cup win against Gula Morioka. Solitary goal, a 1-0 victory in group stages this season in the League Cup. So for Atletico in Brazil. From Sao Paulo player who did have a spell in European football with Dynamo Kiev a few years ago. Came through at Santos. Inui. Space well. Anderson had a couple of yards on Funaki. If that was meant as a cross, it was a poor one. If it was meant as a shot, it was even worse. Really good player, of course, with Leeds and Liverpool. Harry Kewell, and moved on to Galatasaray, then played all over the world. Coaching career meandered a little bit. Coached at Watford junior teams, and also Crawley, Notts County, Oldham, Barnet, lower leagues in England, and then was a first-team coach at Celtic with Ange Postecoglou. Stayed there for a little while as Postecoglou left for Tottenham, but then had an opportunity when Kevin Muscat vacated the position at Marinos. So far, so good, but his side have twice been in front here. Twice they have been pegged back. Kamijima. Yoshiro. Watanabe. Sakakibara. Nui left-hand side, Anderson through the centre, Jan Mateus sprinting inside the box on the right flank here. Nui has it. Nui wanted it back. Sakakibara couldn't spot him or wasn't confident enough to thread it through, and then he was, and he's lost possession. Only for a split second. Marinos have it again, 8 minutes to go. Sakakibara gives it away. That was sloppy. Lucas Fernandez infield. Vitor Bueno forward. Leo Sierra will pull to the right-hand side. Has he got the pace to keep it in? Just. He's put in a shift. The Cerezo number 9. Clever inside the penalty area here. Not the worst ball in. Whistle has gone. Just a little too forceful. He did 4 goals last season. Uejo. 4 for him here. It was Tameda who was closest to it. Home support doing their best, getting behind Cerezo Osaka. Sakura as they're known, and there's been some really good support this season. 12th highest average attendance, just over 18,000. Feels like there's more in today. In a ground that's capacity just under 25. Marinos supporters have come in numbers as they usually do. Saki Kabara. Pop. Here comes the press once again. And they've done well to win it back. It's good industry shown to close down all the angles, but then having won it back and putting the shuttle runs to close down, they give it away. This is Jan Mateus. He's made a move down the flank. That was what he was meant to be, but wasn't. Funaki. Kim. Toriumi. It's not the quickest, bit of a one-man press at the moment. That's never going to work. Here is Funaki. Yokohama F Marinos, 227 passes in the opposite half. You can see not quite double, but it's a significant number more. But since their second goal, we haven't seen too much of them as an attacking force. Cerezo Osaka have worked hard to get back on terms and certainly deserve to be 2-2. They've had some good chances over the course of this fixture. And obviously that penalty miss. Expected goals figures 1.49, Cerezo Osaka 0.87. Yokohama F Marinos, and tells its own tale, doesn't it? More attempts, 13 to 5, 5-3 in terms of attempts on target. But 2-2 is what really matters, and there's 5 minutes remaining as Marinos come forward again. Mizanuma got the first for Saki Kabara, who got the second. This is Kamejima sent off midweek. Now Jan Mateus on his left side, threads it through, not quite the angle or the pace for Riku Yamane, but a clever attempt nonetheless. Vito Bueno. Sierra, time to take it down and take a touch. Can he find a teammate? Might not need one. Straight down the throat of William Pop. Feeling the pace a little. There's Neo Sierra. Saki Kabara. Way high on his chest, but controls. But plenty in pink in defensive positions here. To Inui. Anderson to Amat. Anderson to get there, but not find the corner. First big opportunity for Anderson Lopez. How close was this? Got in front of his man well. Meter wide. Scored 12 headed goals last season, Marinos, 9 of which came from the head of Anderson Lopez. Widgel. So that's Osaka's turn to come forward. Not quite sure what that was from Tamera. Yamada's coming on. Leo Sierra has put in a significant shift. There is no doubt about that. Well, we're going to see his 2 goals. We're not going to see his penalty miss, I suspect. It would have been the hat-trick. 2 well taken, different goals. Brilliant ball in from Lucas Fernandez. Enjoyed the header, didn't he? Second was a precision strike, well placed after some poor play at the back from Marinos, but he's gone off. Yamada has come on. We'll see if he can add anything. This is Anderson to play it forward. The referee has pulled play back. Suggesting it was a shoulder-to-shoulder that should have been allowed to continue without being stopped. Lucas Fernandez, Maikuma. pleased with this afternoon's work. Cerezo Osaka still coming forwards here. Shot takes a deflection, bounces out for a corner, could have gone anywhere. Sotoki Uejo taking it on. To score this season, 4 last. Got a couple in the win over Nagoya Grampus back in August, but hasn't netted since. Kamijima in the way. But Cerezo Osaka have been good with set pieces so far. They've scored with a header from a free kick. What about this corner? Drilled in, flicked on, but should be cleared away. Jan Mateus will chest it down. He showed far too much there to Maikuma, who won it back, and Cerezo Osaka really finishing the game much the stronger. Vita Bueno. And still going. We're into the 90th minute. Uejo has opened up a little bit for him. Maikuma to try and measure the ball to the far post, cleared away again. You just get the sense here as Bueto goes for glory, but Pop makes the save that Marinos are just hanging on a little bit. Anderson cleared away by Funaki. Maybe their midweek exertions just beginning to tell. Jan Mateus to wriggle free, show a bit of strength. Anyway, Saki Kabara, Ranketo. Anyway, Anderson inside the box. The cutback isn't good enough. Bueno's in the way. Looks to punt it long here, but nowhere near. Yamada. 5 minutes of added on time. Fewer than we had for the first time, but it feels about right. Haven't had the significant stoppages, even if we had the restarts and the substitutions. We've nearly had a minute off that added on 5. Are we destined to get a draw between these two, or will we see one more? We're in that next goal wins phase pretty much. If Shida does well, not quite well enough. Uejo will take it on, and then it's flicked here for Tameda to come forward. Up towards Uejo. Tameda. Yamada inside the penalty area. It's going to come towards Lucas Fernandez. Thought about the shot, lifts it back in. Uejo can't get there. Cleared away. Important clearance as well from Marinos, who are under real pressure here as this game comes to its conclusion. Flick towards Bueno again. Anderson. Keito, oh, that's an awful attempted clearance. It's gone straight to Uejo. Tameda. Nobarazato joining in. Look how many players forwards here in Cerezo Osaka colours. Bueno to curl, nodded away again. Clearance is awful again. The save is better as Maikuma's shot is stopped by Pop. Every single clearance seems to fall to a Cerezo Osaka player here. Cushion header just teed it up for the skipper of the home side. Well struck on the half volley, spinning and hitting the turf before bouncing up. It's a really good save from the Marinos keeper. Akuma for a split second thought he might have his first goal of the season, but denied by a strong right hand of William Pop. He's got more defensive work to do here, and he collects really well under a bit of pressure. Might want to slow it down a little here. Maybe not. Jan Mateus goes scampering forwards. Just a throw for Marinos, but that will alleviate the pressure. Good finish to this game. 2 minutes remaining. 2 of the last 4 fixtures between the two have ended 2-2. Will it be 3 of the last 5? We had late drama in both of those 2-2 draws. Marinos equalising courtesy of a Leo Sierra goal in the 90th minute a couple of seasons ago when he was a Marinos player. Now he's not, of course. Inui. Cerezo Osaka with a 90th minute equaliser when they drew back in February 22. Oh, cleverly done. Might be a chance here. There should be, but it's not been taken. And it's Renketo who fires over. But surely the chance was before that. Came to the fullback quickly. Should Yoshida have done better? The pullback was poor, really, wasn't it? Anderson was waiting for the cutback as well. Big chance was not taken. Mateus's ball was poor. And after all of the pressure, Marinos' chance to win it late on probably is gone. Bueno can't keep it in into the final minute. It's been a really good game, terrific contest. Two teams that have tried to play on the front foot and play with ambition. Some good finishes, but missed opportunities as well, and both coaches will potentially look back on points dropped rather than one gained when the dust settles. Even though Cerezo Osaka have had more of the chances, a draw might seem the fair result. That's if it is going to be a draw, of course, because Marinos have a corner. 20 seconds of the added on, 5 minutes remaining. This will be the last act. Mizunuma scored the opener on flag kick taking duty as the visiting support ramped things up behind the goal. Away to our right. Plenty forward in good positions for Marinos. Anderson, the number 10, the obvious target. Kato is in there as well. Cleared to the edge of the area. Has to be a free kick. That's full time. 2-2 in the end. A game that Marinos led twice in. Mizunuma with the first. But Cerezo Osaka, Sierra at the double. Saki Kabara, of course, got the second. The penalty miss from the home team's number 9 also. Plenty of energy expended. Fatigue set in a little with the Marinos players after their Asian Champions League semi-final, but they managed to hang on withstand some significant pressure from Cerezo Osaka in the latter stages. And even though the stats might suggest that Cerezo Osaka should have won the game according to expected goals and chances created, shots on and off target, and of course the penalty miss from that man, he still weighed in with 2 for his 7th and 8th goals of the season. Tend to think that the draw is fair. Full time here, Cerezo Osaka 2, Yokohama F Marinos 2. Well contested affair between two teams that you feel destined to battle for silverware and domestic honours as well as continental honours from a Marinos point of view. Anderson, whose glancing header went wide late on, but it was Cerezo Osaka that created the bulk of the opportunities. And they will obviously look back at the penalty miss and think that was the chance. We saw the Makuma effort very late on. William Popp, who was booked for that penalty incident, but made some really good saves in the second half, keeping out Cerezo Osaka one way or another. You wouldn't say defence is on top, given we've seen 4 goals here, but they defended well in the latter stages. The visitors, Harry Kewell will be pleased with that, but a little bit like last season, they were a side that did concede more than most in that top third of the table. What is he suggesting here to the referee? What was the problem? Maybe the free kick that led to the second equaliser for Cerezo Osaka. An off-the-ball incident, a coming together of 2 players. Cerezo Osaka taking advantage. Maybe even the penalty, wasn't happy with that. I think when he sees it again, if it was his side and he didn't get a spot kick, he probably won't be happy about it. I would suggest that there've been the correct calls for the vast majority. The officials have got it right rather than wrong over the course of the 90 minutes that we've seen here. Cerezo Osaka potentially could go top. It all depends what happens with results elsewhere, of course, and in particular Sanfrecce Hiroshima, who will have the opportunity to go to 20 points when they take on Kawasaki Frontale tomorrow. They could go top as it stands Cerezo Osaka joint top with Machida Zelvia, but top courtesy had a slightly better goal difference just by the one, +6 to +5. But Yokohama F Marinos, their supporters will know that a domestic challenge will come this season. You would have thought they are one of the powerhouses recently of Japanese league football, and that lot have got the Champions League final to look forward to as well against Al Ain, the side from United Arab Emirates. That coming up next month, bowing out of their April schedule with a 2-2 draw against an in-form Cerezo Osaka side. Let's not forget about that. Might have been different last season, but still, they haven't won here since June 2011, and they secured a 1-0 away success. It is now 13 unbeaten for Cerezo Osaka at home in all competitions against Yokohama F Marinos. I'm sure Shinji Kagawa and co will look back on this and think, yeah, if just this man had scored that penalty, let's get some post-match reaction.
結果はドローということになりました。試合を振り返っていかがでしょうか。
Um jogo contra uma grande equipe. A gente sabia que ia ser um jogo difícil, mas acho que a equipe fez uma boa partida. Duas vezes saindo atrás do placar, mas mostrou força e conseguiu o empate. Acho que foi um grande jogo. Levanta a cabeça e já pensando no próximo.